I'm getting this vibe, this, like, I know that's not similar, but the Japanese vibe. After 3 months here in Dubai, I was not enjoying as much. I'm like, I need to drive. I always drove, so I need to drive. I need to enjoy Dubai for what it is: cheap petrol, crazy cars, crazy fast roads. I start to look up for same 2.0 engine, but from the Volkswagen group. So they are all the same, just different formats. So I start to look up for that. But I want an Audi. I always want an Audi. I want an Audi on that. But they were crazy expensive. So I'm on a call with my brother, and he's like, "Oh, I really enjoyed the Golf. Try the Golf GTI. Like, you will really enjoy it and everything." I'm like, "The Golf? Okay, no, I don't want it. But okay, I'll trust you. I'll go take a look at some of them and go see." And I start to look up on ads and start to send them to him. And one of them was the GOLF GTI Clubsport. And I was like, "Oh, this is really a good one. You need to try this one. This has X differential and everything." I'm like, "Good. It's still a Golf." So I'm looking for Golf R's, and I saw this one at Nabud at the dealership. I'm like, "Oh, this is nice. It has warranty, all the things. Since I don't know anyone here, seems like a good chance for me." So I went to Nebuda, and the Golf R that I wanted was not there. I'm like, "Do you have anything else that I can see?" He was like, "Wait, I have a GOLF Clubsport on the back. Do you want to take a look?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I saw one. I want to try it and everything. Let's go see it." And we go outside. It is this crazy dirty Clubsport, red Clubsport. I'm like, looking at the guy. I'm like, "Are you really selling this piece of shit?" This was the exact same words I said to him. The guy changed his face, but he was like, "Just drive it." And it was so good that I was negotiating the price right there with the guy. I'm like, "I want this car. I want it right now." And I closed the deal. I love the car, and I still think it's an amazing car. Everyone else thinks it's just a Golf, just a random Golf, but it's not. So after I got my car, I wanted to see all the car community here. What I did was, like in Portugal, go to Facebook groups. But here, it's old school, no one uses Facebook. However, I got lucky. One guy contacted me on private message. "Hey dude, we have this WhatsApp group. It is a car club and everything." I don't know what is a car club even. So he's like, "Oh, join this link," and I joined the WhatsApp group. They seem like very, very nice people, but it's only Volkswagen. And finally, it comes to the winter part, and the drives start to come. The first drive with the Volkswagen group, it was a Jebel Chase run. And we were supposed to do it on the day, but things got delayed. We reached the bottom of the Jebel Chase mountain at night, full night. And this is my first time pushing the car. This is my first time in Jebel Chase. I don't know what to expect. It's crazy. And we start to climb it, and these guys are flooring it. They are going for it. I'm like, I'm not pushing out. I'm going after them. I start to follow them. And the road at the beginning is fast, and then it starts to climb. And we have these 5 Golfs going up Jebel Chase Mountain, full pitch black, only the headlights. I'm getting this vibe. This, like, I know that's not similar, but the Japanese vibe. The car was amazing. The people were amazing. The road is crazy good. And this was my introduction to the car community in UAE. Like, it's amazing. We have fewer roads, but amazing roads. And Jebel Chase, it's really one of them. It is winter, so we go to a couple of kayak meets, and we go to a couple of runs, we go to these meetings where we just sit on the cars, and the car community is really what I was expecting and even more. We have this notion of supercars and everything, but it's not about that. It's about the people, it's about the car stories, it's about just standing around, taking ideas for your car, driving and enjoying yourself. One event that really got me was the alcohol claim, where I went there and I saw for the first time not one GTR, but 5 of them in a straight line. I'm like, oh my god, I'm living my dream. This is amazing. I saw so many nice cars on that event. I saw everything, even like ideas that I never saw before. And I think this is all about UAE. UAE is about the events, the car people, and everything. The car community, I try to organize as much as possible. I try to, even on drives, I try to tell people advices. For example, in Trouble Chase, I know people it's the first time, and when it's the first time Trouble Chase, there is a couple of tips that I can help. So there is always these small things that you can do that really helps, and that's what I try to do. I try to organize events, I try to organize kayak meet so that people know each other, especially car guys, because car guys have a lot of stories that need to be shared. And I learned so much, even at life, just hearing people. And especially here, when we have this much diversity of people, of countries, everything, religions even, you learn so much about it. My oldest memory with cars, I think when it all started, the main person to blame is my brother. And it all started with this game, the Gran Turismo game in the PlayStation. My brother got it, so we were playing, and at the time there was no such thing as online. So he wanted to play against me, but I'm a kid at this time, so I don't know what a PlayStation is, what more a racing game. So we start to play, and he's destroying me. Like, it's normal. So he needs to have like a smaller engine car just so that I can keep up. And that kind of pisses me off. I'm like, no, I need to beat you. So every day after school, I went to play that game. And I started to get better, until to a point that I could keep up with him. I'm good enough that I can beat him. And it's a nice competition. And I think that got us closer, because it's like, oh, you're starting to understand cars and everything. So it got us closer, I think. And my passion started there. Like, I started to learn what is a turbo, what is a suspension. Like, for me, that's all amazing. And I started to look up YouTube videos. I started to see races, Formula 1, everything. And since my brother was into cars, I could have a conversation with him, and it was the main person that always pushed me and motivated to learn more about cars. I was young, I don't know my age, but he was picking up me from school, and there is this crazy 90 degrees turn near my home, and he was exciting, he's driving excited, and I'm like, oh, nice. And we come to this corner, and what he does, he takes the handbrake and he pulls, the car just goes. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing, I want this, I want to do this, I want more of this. And every day after that, I'm like, oh, you need to do that handbrake thingy again. And he never did that. That's why I'm like, when I get a car, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And it was one of the first things I did when I got my car.